Good evening. Right, slight change of plan. I was meant to be doing other things today, but finished work super late and actually had an awesome customer today who gave me a banana plant. So my idea is to this evening plant the banana plant. Now, from what I understand, I'm not a garden person, but I do like plants and nature. I understand it's not a natural species in the UK. I've got it in a pot, so it'd be cool for people to leave comments and tell me, is it the right idea to plant it here? I know it sprouts a lot. I know a few bits about them, but not a massive amount. So my intention is to dig a hole and plant this banana plant. Now, I also think that the sheep and the deer are probably just going to eat it. It's going to disappear. I'm a little bit concerned about that too. So I don't know whether it's best to keep it in a pot, leave it on the side, let it grow a bit bigger, and then plant it, or whether I do it now. Basically, that's the story so far. So the plant, this wee one here. Let me go get the plant. Right, so this is the plant in question. So this customer today had a huge one in her garden, and she absolutely loved them, and she had loads of them, and I showed an interest, and she gave me one of these, and I told her I'd plant it up here at the valley. I don't think it's like the knotweed or like bamboo. I don't think if I plant it, it's just going to spread everywhere. I don't think it's going to grow, well, they don't grow super tall, so I don't think it's going to take away from any of the other trees in the area, but obviously I don't want to do damage to the environment either, so I plant it in the pot up to here, and at least that way I know that the roots aren't going to spread everywhere for now, and it can grow in here. Maybe once it gets bigger I'll take it out of the pot. I don't know. Right, also I'm going to make another axe head. If you saw the other episode, I redid the axe, this little beast. So I redid the handle on this one, and I have another axe head, a really big one. This is it. Last night I gave it a little polish. It was super rusty, so I polished it, gave it a little bit of a sharpen. Up here it says Morris, Durnsford, Devon. And after doing a bit of research, just up near Exeter, they've been blacksmiths for over 100 years. And this is one of their heads, so this is a big heavy beast. I should have weighed it. There's a number 6 up here. So I'm not sure if that obviously is a... But this is the beast. So anyway, I'm going to put a handle on this. I've got a few pieces of wood over here. They might not be good enough. I need something broad. Like broad. This broad. Well, that might be a project. It's 8 PM tonight. Like I said, I started late today. Fire's on because I need to boil some water to make some food. And I'm going to dig a hole for this. I just need to decide where I'm going to put it. Where would you plant a banana tree? There's Charlie's done up here. There's the flat spot over here. There's another little flat spot here. I don't know whether... I'm wondering whether it's worth like put it in this pot here, because sheep can't easily get to it. I'm thinking it gives it maybe the best opportunity to survive. If I put it in here, I don't know. Oh look, we've got a little lamp. Oh look, it's on. No, DJ Dan brought that one up. DJ Dan in the row. Well, if you don't know if you've seen this one, if you've seen our previous episodes, we found this nest, and then a couple of weeks later we found this egg. It was on the floor. I think it was from a crow or a blackbird or something. But yeah, that's kind of cool. Disgusting. Tell you what, actually quite like that there. It looks quite good. Right, I need to get cracking on there, sorting this food out. Yeah, so let me know about that banana tree. Because if it's cool for me to plant it in the ground, then it's just going to be a tree and it's going to make a small impact, then that's fine. I just don't want to... I don't want to plant it and then it poison the ground, or I don't want to plant it in there, I don't know, all the trees around it die, something like that. Oh, we are potentially due some rain. I have brought a jumper, but if it starts to rain I'm going to get wet on the way back. And the bracken is so tall, I had to walk through 7 foot of bracken, couldn't even see where I was going. I knew the path, but it's gnarly this time of year. Bracken just shoots up. if you haven't seen a previous episode, this area up here, all this space up here, all had bracken on it. We've cleared all this out. We can kind of control it, I suppose, by pulling it out, but I'll bring a bucket up to fill up the pond. It's still down the river. I'll probably have to go down later on, but I can actually feel raindrops already. Mosquitoes, get away. So there are still baby frogs hopping around all over the floor. I reckon in 5 seconds I can find a baby frog. Oh, there it is. Look at this. They're everywhere. I can't believe it. They're still just hopping around. He's so tiny. Look at him move across with my finger. Where is he? Look. So small. Look at these guys. They're everywhere. Okay, so I have spoken to a few people and they've asked me what's this flat spot for? Why was they digging this? What am I doing it for? So obviously there is a bench in there. So if overnight we were filming animals or we're having a little bushcraft session and it went on a bit long and we wanted to stay here overnight, we could potentially sleep on the bench in there and there is space on the floor, but that's not ideal. So we would want to bring a tent up. So I dug out this little flat patch over here, which is probably big enough like a really small 2-man tent, definitely a 1-man tent, but that's it. When the boys come up, we have a slightly larger tent and we need a flatter area and a larger area. So this was sort of the beginnings of the flatter, larger area. And it's actually pretty solid now. With the rain coming in, it sort of packs it in as well. It's pretty good. But yeah, so this is an area where we can set up a really large tent and camp out and have this nice view. I'll tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to plant this banana tree because there's poops here. So it's deer. I'm pretty sure if I plant it somewhere around here, oh, maybe another baby frog. If I plant it around here somewhere, it is going to be eaten by the sheep, and it is going to be eaten by the deer, and it's just going to end up being shrubs when I come up, and I'll be really bummed. And then I'll probably learn my lesson, but I won't be able to get another one. I don't know how much it costs. Right, I'm going to call this plant Tyson as well, this banana tree, because the customer who gave me it, oops, needs a blow. Okay, it's better. The customer who gave me this looked just like Tyson Fury, and and one of the other guys said to each other, "He looks familiar, doesn't he?" And I clicked Tyson Fury, so I went instantly over to him, feeling really proud of myself, and I was like, "Has anyone ever said you look like Tyson Fury?" And he was like, "Yeah, I get that a lot." So that was kind of cool. So thank you very much to that family who were very generous and gave me this plant to bring down to the valley. Then, and it's super sick. I was so chuffed. I'm sure they knew that. Ooh. Oh yeah, we did. Oh really? I think everything's falling down here. Oh, that's good. Okay, so I thought about it, and I think my verdict about the banana tree is that I'm going to leave it in this pot until I read a comment or find some advice that would tell me whether it's a good idea to plant this little dude into the ground here. We've still got plenty of time to grow inside that pot. I'm hoping it's going to be high enough so that some of the animals can't eat it. Now, as much as I'd like to finish this axe, now I've had some food, and I'm feeling amped. The time is now 20 to 9, which means I suppose I've got about half an hour. It didn't take me too long. So I'm going to use one of these bits of wood. I managed to get another piece just before I was while the dinner was on. I managed to pick up this other piece. I didn't film it. Sometimes I do that. I just wander off and forget to bring the camera. But I use this piece of wood, start shaping it so I can fit this big old axe head on there. Okay, right. So first things first, you want to get yourself a log. Now, keeping in mind, I am not an expert. I'm not a carpenter either, but I love bushcraft. And I learned to do this a long time ago just by practicing. I've done quite a few at home with house tools. And I've done a few in the woods quite recently and in the past, and it's always worked out. So follow my methods, don't follow my methods. I'm just showing you what I know. Angle I want my head to face. I want it to face this way. And my log is kind of, I'm going to have this bit facing backwards. That's going to be my reminder. But I want to just try and straighten up this log a little bit so I can see what I'm working with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and I'm going to time lapse it, and each time I'm going to do something different. I'm going to carry on chatting away. So the idea is just to try and square this off a little bit so that it looks a little bit straighter. Okay, right, so a little bit flatter, so I know which angle I'm trying to face my axe head. I'm just trying to give yourself a bit of direction, that's all. Just trying to understand, and then I'm going to start taking huge slats out of this bit here, but I don't want to lose too much length, so I'm not going to cut from the front or the back. I'm just going to cut from the sides, and then when we start getting closer, we start getting into the intricate cuts, and then we'll swap knives, something slightly smaller, and we'll go from there. Right, so what I'm going to do now, so my axe is going to face this way, fat end back here, so I'm going to start cutting off these sections and really trying to break it down to close to fitting this, and then we'll get the other knife out. Okay, right, so here's where we're at with this thing now. So you can see the front and the back. It gets fatter and fatter now. What I want to be able to do is get this thing just over the top, and then we'll have it fade down. It needs to go in quite a way. I mean, that head is like 4 inches, so it's got to go down a long way. So we've got a lot of carving to do, but at this point you're going to need a slightly more intricate knife, so we can work a bit of detail in, really. My weapon of choice, little present the boys got me. Nothing special, but if it's sharp, it'll work. Yeah, so get focus on it, there we go. And if it's sharp, it'll work. Right, next time lapse. Okay, right, so right, okay, so what I was trying to say is I'm at the point now where the axe is just sat on the head. So that's the tip there. So that's what I need to create and make it go all the way down. She's just slowly carving now and enjoying the evening. Right, next time lapse, I should be able to fit this, I'm saying about 2 inches down. It should fit 2 inches. Okay, right, so I'm at the 2 inch mark now, so it can come down to about here. The axe head can hit down to about here, so we're about 2 inches. It is now 9:10. Axe head, where is she? God, it's a nice hefty size axe head. Okay, she got down to here, so not too bad. Fire's still ripping. I'm probably going to have to head off soon because it's actually going to get dark. Okay, right. It's really getting dark now. Okay, I'm pretty much out it. Now what's going to happen is the top inch is very, very short at the top here. So as this starts going slightly further down, I'll cut it where it gets wider, and that's where I'll put my my wedge in. The wedge, I don't know if I have time to do today. Oh, I like this though. It's a good axe. Right, okay. Right, so we've reached the point now where I have to switch the light on because it's that dark. But the stick is ready, the axe head slides all the way on. So that took me under an hour. So obviously I need to cut down this centerpiece, which I'll create a wedge for. As I said before, I need this axe head to come down maybe another inch. By that point, this narrow part would have come up, and we'll have a nice broad piece of wood in here. And we'll cut that, put a wedge in. I'll use the wedge off the bottom of this. So this is it. This is where we're at. Massive log splitting axe. This is heavy too. Like, it's heavy. It's so nice. I cannot wait to chop something with this. But in the meantime, there she goes. I think if I would have hit this from the bottom, oh, that's really on there now. Look at that. Comes up so much more. I reckon if I club this really hard, I could split that piece of wood. I don't want to because I need it, but I reckon I could if I wanted to. That split noise wasn't this. That split noise was that thing. That's amazing. Okay, right, I've got to put this away. I'll come finish this later. Cool, right, that's it. How to make an axe and introduction to the new banana tree at the Valley Den. I've heard that once you plant it, other ones will shoot up, and if other ones shoot up and I have surplus, then I am gonna just plant them around. But just leave in the comments, is it a good idea to be putting banana trees in this oak wood? Is it dangerous for the other plants? Are the animals going to be poisoned? Will they eat them? Will they survive? See you in the next one.